There is a stillness more deadly than a scream. A guy sits in the corner of a packed room, not noisy, not laughing, nor seeking attention. But everyone notices him. They don't know why. They don't know who he is. But something about him demands respect, maybe even dread. That dude is not affluent, not famous. He doesn't command with loudness. He commands with presence. And without uttering a word, he commands the whole environment. That's not luck. That's not chance. That is psychology. You see, rulers don't beg for thrones, they persuade the world to bow. They modify reality via perception. They choreograph emotion with precision. They calculate movements the way killers study targets. Silently, relentlessly, and with brutal patience. You want to be powerful? Stop pursuing crowns. Start thinking like the guy who creates them. Because the most dangerous individual is not the one who struggles for power. It's the one who already thinks he has it. And tonight, you're going to penetrate his head. The first weapon of a ruler is not an army, it is image. In the realm of power, fact matters less than perception. People believe what you allow them to believe. Control the story and you control their choices. Kings comprehend the psychological law of authority. When you look assured, people follow. When you act unbothered, people infer power. Confidence, even when contrived, is a psychological weapon. The human mind is geared to follow confidence because it resembles expertise. Think about it. Would you rather follow the anxious guy who questions himself or the one who stays firm, even if he's wrong? To think like a king, you must master the skill of projection. You go into a room not with loudness, but with heaviness. Your posture talks before your lips move. Your quiet makes others lean close. You learn to talk less yet say more. You do not overshare. You do not explain oneself needlessly. What? Because mystery fosters interest, and curiosity generates influence. When you make others guess your ideas, they get obsessed with knowing them. That fixation provides you psychological power. If they're busy thinking about you, they're not plotting against you. Control perception and you wear the unseen crown. Be regarded as strong and you become powerful, even before you deserve it. A great ruler does not reject emotions, he weaponizes them. Most individuals assume empathy is weakness. That's a lie. Strategic empathy is the capacity to read emotions, reflect them, and then guide them. It's the hidden weapon of politicians, CEOs, cult leaders, and monarchs. When you understand what people desire, you know how to deliver it, on your terms. Everyone is wandering around with unseen wounds, desires, insecurities. When you learn to recognize them, you have the key to their inner realm. Praise the insecure and they will idolize you. Challenge the overconfident and they will pursue your affirmation. You don't manipulate emotions blindly. You manipulate them with accuracy. When someone feels heard, they drop their barriers. When someone feels understood, they trust. And when people trust, they become susceptible to your idea. A ruler does not conquer by force alone. He conquers by knowing the hearts of his opponents and friends. He murmurs precisely what people need to hear, not what is real. He becomes what people need until they forget to question his motivations. This is not cruelty. This is chess. The board is human behavior. The pawns are emotions. You do not win by being the most honest. You win by being the most observant. Think like a king. Read the soul before you speak to the face. A ruler is not frigid by nature. He is frigid by choice. To sustain authority, a monarch must destroy the need to satisfy everyone. That's not leadership, that's slavery. You must create a regulated detachment. Not because you dislike people, but because you prioritize results above feelings. There will be instances when a monarch must choose between popularity and authority. A weak guy bends. A king holds the line. The psychology of power needs emotional discipline. You must learn yourself to feel, without flinching, to listen without absorbing, to act without requiring approbation. This does not imply you lack heart. It signifies your heart does not lead. You can't influence the battlefield if you're too busy feeling sorry for the pieces. Power needs sacrifice. That may be time, energy, or people. If someone becomes a danger to your mission, you eliminate them. Not necessarily with hostility. Sometimes with absence. Sometimes with quiet. Emotional separation provides you clarity. While others are seized in terror, your eyesight stays keen. You're not reactive. You're surgical. And here's the truth. Most people admire the guy who can walk away more than the one who begs to remain. They may call him heartless, but they will never call him weak. That's the psychology of leadership. To think like a monarch, you must develop the skill of calm indifference. Not to harm, but to stay untouchable. The game of loyalty. Loyalty is not something a monarch assumes, it's something he builds. Never forget, allegiance is conditional. It is purchased, won, threatened, or inspired, but seldom permanent. People are loyal as long as their wants are addressed, their anxieties are eased, or their greed is gratified. A ruler manipulates allegiance by rewards and terror. Reward those who serve you well. Make it lucrative to support you. But also make disloyalty expensive. The mind reacts significantly to two emotions, desire and fear. The savvy king utilizes both. He gives opportunity to the faithful and punishment to the disloyal. He does not need to punish often, only obviously. A single act of discipline resonates longer than 100 accolades. But beyond terror and reward, the monarch employs another tool, identity. He makes his followers feel like part of something larger. He talks in we, not in I. He crafts a vision they want to belong to. Once people tie their identity to your cause, they become guardians of your power. Psychologically, humans desire inclusion, purpose, and direction. A ruler gives all three, but always on his terms. He becomes the source of purpose, direction, and reward. Once you are the source, people rely on you. And reliance is power. Do not beg for allegiance. Design it. Structure it into your relationships, your presence, and your commitments. Remember, a monarch does not beg for allegiance. He develops an empire so magnetic that people dread leaving it more than remaining in it. The king's choices are seldom loud, but always well-timed. There is black brightness in the art of patience. Weak guys rush. Kings wait. Timing in psychology is more effective than ability, words, or even force. Strike too early and you alert your adversaries. Strike too late and you lose your edge. The king realizes quiet is not absence, it's preparedness. While others bluster and blurt, he observes. He gathers data, watches patterns, and then when the ideal time arises, he acts. Swiftly, decisively. Power rests not in what you do, but when you do it. Know this, individuals reveal themselves when they feel secure. So you let them speak, let them rest, let them underestimate you. Because when people believe you are predictable, they let their guard down. That is when a king makes his move. Timing is psychological warfare. It provides uncertainty, and uncertainty causes dread. People dread what they can't foresee, and fear is control. So stay still while others panic. Be calm while others are boisterous. Wait while others act, then act while they relax. A king is never hurried. He controls the pace of the game. That's why he wins it. A real monarch never plays for the moment. He plays for immortality. The ordinary intellect craves pleasure. The king's mentality wants legacy. He does not pursue comfort. He creates empires that outlast his name. That mentality rewires his psyche. It makes him patient, precise, and brutal with diversions. When your perspective goes beyond the present, your choices become clearer. You no longer desire the dopamine of now, you're growing the power of eternity. A monarch is obsessed with control because he knows without it, legacy falls. He seeks influence that endures controversy, sabotage, and time. He studies history not to remember, but to master it. And that's what makes his power scary. He is not constrained by trends. He is not distracted by applause. He is thinking 5 steps ahead, sowing seeds in quiet, and establishing relationships in the shadows. He realizes power is not granted. It's constructed, brick by psychological brick. To think like a king is to live with purpose so ferocious that even your quiet resonates after death. Not many will comprehend you, but everybody will remember you. The throne is a mindset. So now I ask you again, do you think like a king? Not everyone is intended to reign. But if you dare to manipulate vision, to command emotion, to wait with patience and strike with clarity, then the crown is yours long before it's apparent. The throne is not made of gold. It is built inside the mind. You don't beg for power. You become it.